Three, two, and one. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode of the Pressure Cooker Podcast, sponsored by thekidswearcrowns.com, part of the Don't Call It a podcast series. I'm your host, Ryan Mack. With me tonight, as always, is Miss Lethal Saint.
Hello, hello, hello.
Cordelia Love could not join us tonight. She has been kind of out of it all week. She's been a little tired. So hopefully she can catch up with us next week. But we're going to kind of recap the week that was. All of us have kind of had the same approach to this week. We've kind of left the game alone for a little bit for various reasons that we'll get into in a second. We got the eviction that we all expected. But now, as I was explaining to you off air, LS, we got the most rewarding possible HOH in terms of giving us an unpredictable week.
Yep.
So for those of y'all that are kind of just tuning in and just catching up, of course, Bayleigh was evicted by a vote of 6-1 after what has been an emotional week with Bayleigh. She was backdoored. Totally did not expect it. Pretty much had it coming, though, and it's basically been her own error that put her in this situation. As we all said last week, she never should have won that HOH, and it's been downhill from there. I don't think I've seen a game tank faster in terms of public favorability. You know what I'm saying? Going from everybody loved Bayleigh after the swaggy eviction, and we just knew she was going to play the middle and lay low and everything, and then she just opened her mouth, and it all went downhill.
Yeah. That is literally all that happened. All she had to do was chill out through her HOH, do a little sympathy. Oh, it's not personal, it's just business type of HOH, and shut her fucking mouth and not tell Rachel what happened about her power, and she would have been good. But nope, she did the total opposite, and she's gone now. So, and surprisingly, her own alliance voted her out, and Sam voted for her to stay, which is really weird. I don't know what happened, but that's weird.
And I will say, because people were like, "Oh, they had the votes to stay." What I think people are missing is that Scotty has officially flipped on the Hive. He was basically
Uh,
tired of being the scapegoat, which is basically what Hayleigh was setting him up to be. And I think we can go ahead and agree that Hayleigh played the hacker role completely wrong. Her mind was in the right place, but she went about it the wrong way. When she took Scotty off, she should have either told Scotty in advance, "Hey, I won the hacker comp. I'm taking you off. My target is Tyler." Or if she really didn't trust him, she should have taken Rockstar off. Rockstar comes off the block. You then put up Tyler. Scotty's forced to take himself off if he wins the veto. So you have a situation where Tyler's possibly still on the block. You can set up the votes to where you have, Rockstar, Fessy, Hayleigh, and Bayleigh, the 4 votes you need to evict by canceling out, Casey's vote. You have a situation where you could evict Tyler, the threat that you saw coming.
right.
Instead, you take off Scotty, you frame Scotty. Scotty gets pissed off. Scotty flips sides. You now no longer have that vote. And if they did have that vote, they could have saved Bayleigh tonight because they could have had Sam, Scotty, Bayleigh, and Hayleigh all vote to evict Rockstar, and Rockstar's gone, and Bayleigh's still in the house. But I think the best thing that happened was for Bayleigh to leave. It was just going to continue to be too volatile with her in the house, and
Yes.
it just kind of takes away from the gameplay to an extent.
Yeah, it got too personal and too much fighting, too much. More of the N word was going to be thrown if she stayed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just be honest. I know a lot of white people are probably listening, like, no, it wasn't. Yes, it was.
Yeah, the person who
It was.
almost won HOH definitely would have thrown him around.
Yeah, it was pretty clear. So, yeah, I just. Oh, that's what I want to say. What's up with this Sam wanting to self evict thing?
Okay, I don't know. So for those of y'all that don't know, Vegas for sure is a certified Big Brother spoiler. Vegas was initially on Reddit, spoiling things, and then basically their head got too big. Vegas's head got too big, and Vegas left Reddit and is now on Twitter. I won't go into the full story right now, but anyway, she had tweeted, he or she, we assume that's a she because her profile is Rachel, from BB12. Um, she had said that Sam had been in the diary room for over 15 minutes with only 45 minutes to go until the live episode, which is not normal. She said that when they called her to the DR during the live show, she's going to refuse to vote. She was then told she can't do that. She stayed and cried most of the time and then tried to leave the DR through the side exit, which would be a self eviction, but was asked to stay.
Ugh.
I, for one, would not mind Sam leaving any other week, but I needed Bayleigh to go. And
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, I love Bayleigh. I do. As a person, she seems like an okay individual. She's a bit spoiled. Yeah, that's fine. But the house makes people look different. I mean, we've heard from people who've been on the show before. The house makes you different than what you actually are. That was not the environment for her. And she just wasn't good at the game. And it would be a waste for her to still be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
that is true.
you know, and it wouldn't be worthwhile. Like, I don't see the benefit. And if she stays, okay, you know, it's another vote for quote unquote the Hive. The Hive is pretty much dead anyway. It's best for Hayleigh's game that she wins HOH this week. She can try and splinter what's you know, what's left of level 6 in terms of she can almost guarantee. Now the hacker twist is going to throw a wrench in this, but she can almost guarantee that either Tyler, Angela, Brett, or Casey goes home. That all works in her favor, or JC, because I think she's starting to figure JC out.
Yes.
So you have 5 possible targets, all of which should be above Scotty, because she should know you can win back Scotty. And so I'm hoping that she does the right thing, and that we should either way, unless we have a hacker out of Tyler or Angela or something, and they end up nominating, you know, Fessy. If they win the hacker competition, it's going to guarantee that somebody from level 4 plus the extras goes home. So I don't see the benefit of Bayleigh staying. I just don't.
True.
Game wise, I don't. I mean, you can change my mind if you want.
No, I don't either. You know, I just wouldn't mind seeing Sam go home.
I'm with you.
What has she really done in the house besides get on people's nerves and
call women
clean
whores
up and demand order and make crap out of lint and ketchup?
Like,
what has
it's
she done?
supposed to be fair. I want it to be fair.
Yes.
Let's all throw this hacker competition to me.
That's the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard in my life. You're on a game to get everyone out. The object of the game is to win by yourself. What is it, $500,000 or whatever? And then all this like quote unquote C-list, D-list fame, whatever. And you want stuff to be fair? I didn't win this competition and have the power to take $5,000 out of someone's hand. I'm going to take the $5,000 out of somebody's hand. I didn't make the rules. The show made the rules. So fair, you can kiss my ass with fair, Sam. Fuck out of here. She should have self-evicted. She gets on my nerves. And then Tyler told her and about the app. This is becoming way too much. Like, Sam's crying because Tyler's lied to her. Did the same thing Bayleigh did. JC's being the little rat thing. Oh, and if y'all didn't hear, production made him apologize for saying the N-word. He didn't do it out of the kindness of his own little heart. Yes, I said little. That's not a bad word to call a short, super short person. Is this game? It's been draining me this week. That's why I'm not overly excited. I'm happy Hayleigh got HOH. However, everyone in that alliance that got HOH or that won something has let me down. So
except for Scotty.
Yeah, except for Scotty. So I'm just like, you know, she's HOH, but what does that really mean? Like, is she gonna do something stupid like Bayleigh did? You know, like
I give Hayleigh more benefit of the doubt. She seems to be, I know I'm saying this after she made an emotional decision with the hacker meeting, but she seems to be, and I will defend that in a second to an extent, but she seems to be somebody who has more of a game sense definitely more than Rockstar, and certainly more than Fessy. But I think she had more of a game sense than Bayleigh did. I just think she was never in the position to where her voice was loud enough to command attention. And because of that, I think she just kind of let things go instead of really, she didn't really want to push her agenda and make her alliance bad. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
if you're with a group of people and you think y'all should be doing one thing, but nobody seems to realize that, and you really push, kind of like Rachel did with Winston's eviction.
Mhm.
Rachel did it, it turned around and bit her, and she ended up being the next person to go. And so honestly, or the person after that to go, honestly, it would not surprise me because she's on to Tyler. Now she doesn't realize the extent of how hard Tyler has played them. She thinks he's played both sides, but she's on to Tyler. So I know that he's going to be a nominee, which will cause him to flush the Cloud app. And when he does that, that means that we're going to get an Angela and Brett nomination.
Yes.
And as long as somebody on the Hive side wins the hacker, then you have Angela and Brett nominated. And if Hayleigh or somebody along that line or Fessy wins the veto, then you can put Tyler up. Then you can backdoor Tyler, and then there you go. Now either way, you won't have the votes, but you still take somebody off of his side. Or that side of the house. Like I think Hayleigh is smart enough to know, hey, Brett, Angela, JC, they're not on my side. They have never tried to be on my side. And I know that they would come after me.
True.
So I think she's smart enough to realize that. Now, from my opinion on that hacker meeting, and you tell me how you feel about it. I think Hayleigh knew, I mean, again, it was emotional, but I think she knew that she's next on the list. Um, as far as who level 6 would be targeting or the other side of the house. Once Bayleigh's gone, they're probably going to either come after Fessy or they're going to come after Hayleigh. Nobody's coming at Rockstar. So either way, Hayleigh would have been nominated this week if she didn't win HOH. And I think she knew that. And so I think she made an attempt to call Tyler out. The only thing that didn't work in her favor is the rest of the house already knows that Tyler's playing them. And so that was kind of the only issue. But from her perspective, I can see why she did it.
Yeah, I see the emotional side of it. Like Bayleigh's her friend, she's getting attacked for something that she didn't even do, and I understand, that whole thing, but I'm just like, I would have took that to the grave because now you're a target. Like unfortunately, Bayleigh ruptured enough people that she was gonna get attacked for anything.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of, it was what it was, and I get that's, you made your friend in the house and all that stuff, but I would have been like, look, girl, I got the app, they're blaming you for it, you can defend yourself, but I'm not trying to be the next target
Mm-hmm.
on the block. If I win this $500,000, I'll slide you like 25K or something, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Right.
you just gonna have to ride this boat on out. They gonna blame you for regardless, like, for it. And that's just what I would have done. I'd have been like, look, girl, this is it. You've made your bed, you gotta lie in it now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. But I do get it. But she made a target on her back, which is a little frustrating to me because it's like, wow, you lied to these people about doing your dirt. Now they're mad at you. Now you're the next target, and that's what I don't like, is that nobody can keep their mouths shut in this game.
Yep.
Not even Tyler. We thought Tyler could, but then he told Sam about the Cloud app, and then Sam went to go self evict. So, oh yeah, I'm gonna try to have high hopes for Hayleigh in this game. I might end up being like you and put my eggs in Casey's
Come to
basket.
the dark side.
But I
Come
hate the dark
to
side.
the dark side. I'm telling you. Um,
I do it.
Now listen, what's going to happen, because we all know, is that we're either going to get because I feel like Hayleigh is savvy enough to save herself beyond this week. I think she realizes what's about to happen. The cards are going to be shown to her because she's basically, it's going to be very obvious to her within the next 24 hours who's where if she hasn't figured it out already. Um,
Mm.
I could see her skirting through this and making it far and not being the next person out. I could see her turning the targets of the house towards a JC, somebody who it's easy for the house to be mad at. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
JC makes it easy to not like him. And so I could very
That
well
is a
see
fact.
if level 6 comes up and says, "Hey, look, your side doesn't really exist anymore." Like, say Tyler and Casey come up and says, "Your side doesn't really exist anymore. Angela just evicted your best friend in the house.
Mm.
We kind of been working together, but you know what? You have the power, and why don't we bring in you? Not necessarily Fessy. She didn't really like Fessy. Why don't we bring
Right.
you into our circle and let's go after it? Let's take out Angela because she's going to be a really big player down the line. Because if you think about it, nobody's going to vote for Fessy to win. Nobody's going to vote for
God
Rockstar
no.
to win. It's not
Nope.
going to happen. So why waste this time on them? You can convince her to go after Angela. Or if you're Angela and you're smart, you convince her to go after Tyler and Casey. But either way, I could very well see a level 6 split happening here because if they're really that cutthroat, which I think Tyler and Angela are, they'll take the opportunity to cut one of their own before the numbers get too small and you're now dealing with having to compete. It's way easier if your final 6 consists of you. If you're Tyler, it's easier if your final 6 is you, Casey, Hayleigh, Fessy, Sam, and Rockstar versus you, Casey, Angela, Brett, Fessy, and JC.
Yeah.
It's a much easier proposition to cut Angela now. Um, and if Tyler is really the super fan that he has shown to be, it wouldn't surprise me if he makes that move this week.
That is true. And his other problem is he is creating a bitter jury.
Mm-hmm.
That's that. That's what he's not thinking about. Like you're doing all this stuff. You're yelling, antagonizing people, being hella rude. Your true colors are now showing like crazy,
Mm-hmm.
and
He
people are
got big
seeing
head.
that. Like, my dude, you really want to evict everyone not in your alliance to create a bitter jury that will just refuse to vote for you? Okay, I mean it wouldn't be me, but hey, you think you're the smartest person in the house? Do what you
Now,
gotta do, I guess.
I could see that he dodged a bullet here because it seems like, and it depends on who. It totally depends on who he's up against. But he and Bayleigh made up, and we've seen in the past where, uh, somebody like Winston or Rachel, they got up and they just left. They didn't
Right.
stay. They got up. They dipped. At least Bayleigh took the time to hug everybody. I thought she was gonna dip, but she waited. She got to the door and she hugged everybody. She said bye. She and Tyler exchanged a hug. Hold on one second. Go in there.
Mm.
You were supposed to be laying down. Go in there with mommy. Go. She got up, hugged, hugged everybody. It was actually, she wasn't that bitter and she seemed to understand, look, it is a game. And at the end of the day, I got outplayed. And in Tyler's goodbye message, she took it well. So I don't think in her situation she'd be bitter. But again, it does depend on how he plays these next couple moves because you don't want to end up in a situation. He's made Sam mad, and Sam is now jury, and she's going to vote emotionally.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
so
she is an emotional human being.
exactly. And so you can't tick off Sam. Well, you've already ticked off Sam. So hopefully you prepare that. If you backstab Angela and Angela seems very bitter about it, you could lose that vote.
Oh
Um,
yeah, Angela, she is a bitter human being.
oh, she will hold that grudge. Now, Brett will laugh about it. Um, Fessy will just be confused. I think Hayleigh will know it's game. So I think he's okay here as long as he doesn't get as long as he kind of lets the big head kind of go down a little bit because these last 2 weeks he's done more than he needed to, and it's going to bite him.
Right, all he had to do was chill out, but no, he just went freaking insane. Like I was like, dang. Even I was like, this is out of character, but you know how these people try to hide their characters for so long. I hide who they really are, and the next thing you know, whoop, here it is. Here's the real me. Hi, everybody.
So I'm really hoping that this is not the week that Sam walks. Because that would be a shame. Um,
Yeah, you're messing up Hayleigh's week.
yeah, so
God
I'm
dang it.
hoping that she keeps her head on straight and she could just go at like the final 8 or 7 or whatever. That's fine. I don't care. But if we end up with like a Casey HOH, I'm fine if Sam walks that week. um,
True.
and I love Casey, but
Casey.
but but I wouldn't mind if that happened because
Love Casey.
that gets less blood on my girl's hands. So,
Right.
um,
And
as
they're gonna,
far as
they're gonna be mad at Hayleigh regardless.
yeah,
but
but
it's just like,
I,
hey, lines crossed.
I mean, I really think this is the week where either Tyler or Angela tries to make a deal. Like, hey, guess what? It's gonna be easier if he's not here moving forward, or if she's not here moving forward. It would not
Yeah.
surprise me if they throw that idea out there. If we see Tyler and Casey thinking about betraying Brett or Angela, it would not surprise me because, and I would tell you, if Brett survives this, Brett's walking to the end. He's walking to the end, and he's good TV. I would never hang with him as a person. He's annoying. He's great TV. The anal lice thing was pure comedy. Um, but it would not surprise me. He's now been on the block twice. Has survived the eviction. People know he's in that spot where people know he's a bit of a threat, but they don't really see him as an immediate threat to them.
Right. Because he doesn't do
No,
much
he's
or
not going to win
nothing.
HOH.
And he thinks he does do stuff. That's just the craziest part.
The
If
thing
he
is,
really
I
thinks he
don't think
does
he
stuff.
thinks that. I think he just feels like he's there to make good TV
Oh,
because he
I
was a
hope
recruit.
so. Because I mean, if he really thinks that, then he can't fix my computer.
Well, turns out he's not a hacker anyway. He's in sales. So
he's in sales. I thought someone said that was a fake job description, but they didn't say what he really did.
didn't Cruzelia look it up on LinkedIn? Didn't she say that?
Probably, but she
Or it might
got a
have been
lot
no,
of
you know
views.
what? It was on Rob Has a Podcast. They looked it up.
Oh,
One of them had looked it up and saw that he's like cybersecurity sales.
wow. I mean, it was obvious he was faking it when he would go on and be like, "Oh, this has ones and zeros, and my job is ones and zero," whatever the hell he said. I was like, "What?"
I'm reading
But
these
okay,
numbers. I know what this says.
yeah, okay, yeah. That's not how it works, my friend. It's
So
not how it works.
I just
But
read an interesting comment. Somebody said that they could end up turning on JC this week.
I hope so. I'm sick of him.
I would be entertained by that because JC is going to give us good feeds. If he's
JC's known.
threatened, he's going to blow up the house. It's going to be amazing. And at the end of it, he'll be gone. So that would be fine.
That's a fact. I am totally fine with JC leaving. Like, JC has been nothing but a liar and a racist, getting on everybody's nerves. He does nothing in the house. He doesn't win competitions. He doesn't do anything.
He
But
feels he's way smarter than he actually is.
right, he annoys the shit out of everybody, and that's about it. I
Like,
haven't I haven't seen him do anything in the
uh,
house.
so I think that what was I gonna say with JC? He, like I say, he definitely thinks he's smarter than he is. He's playing like a poor man's Andy Heron kind of game, where Andy was basically this big floater and a kind of a rat between both sides, and he would end up he would basically end up plotting or pinning some kind of fake narrative within the HOH, but then kind of staying out of the downfall of it. You know what I'm saying? Like he'd set the
Right,
bomb and he'd run away and kind of watch the explosion.
right.
And he was fantastic at that because everybody loved him. JC, JC's at the point where he's getting on everybody's nerves, and that's how I feel like. That's why I feel like he is going to really be writing his own eviction notice soon.
He is. And I can't wait. I mean, you've done nothing. You've been just raise it. Like, I just can't believe they just let him slide. I mean, he gets on Fessy, even though Fessy and him have a quote unquote bromance, whatever that's going on. He's still getting on his nerves.
Yeah.
When you're worthless in the house, you're worthless in the house.
Yeah. So I don't see him going much further. I just don't see it. I don't see enough people liking him. I don't see him beasting enough competitions to keep himself safe. And again, that's why I would think this would be the time. And it's another reason why I think this would be the time, this would be the week where level 6 turns on each other, plus allies, because you could see Tyler turning on JC, you could see Tyler turning on Angela, you could see Angela turning on Tyler, you could see JC turning on Tyler. Any of those things could happen if they get paranoid enough. And if Tyler uses that app and they find out he uses that app, oh God.
It's gonna be crazy.
So this is going to give us good feeds. It's going to give us another good week. This season keeps on giving. I know this week was exhausting. We made it though. We made it.
We did. And I can't lie. I am excited. I'm excited because it's new week, new drama, happening. Fessy being Fessy. Doing nothing but kiss Hayleigh's butt in the house. And then see, hopefully, the fall of this freaking what do they call themselves?
Level
the
6
other alliance, level 6.
Now,
Yeah.
I have to say, because people are like, "Oh, level 6 is steamrolling through this game," but they're really not. Like they've really just benefited on Faute being incredibly stupid. Like
super stupid.
Like
that is it.
Yeah, that's it. Because the only thing they did was a week 1 flip to save Steve. That's the only thing they did where they had the numbers. I mean, to evict Steve, not save Steve. Summer Steve 2018, rest in peace. They had the numbers to do that. Then the very next week, when Caitlyn wins HOH, they are so dumb that they leave her alone with Tyler. They don't go and check on her. They don't go keep an eye on her. And of course, she is just a very off person and just, I'm doing this for little girls everywhere to stand up for themselves by backdooring Swaggy, who's on your side. And then you get the Scotty HOH, who's the only one that had any mind of what he was doing. He puts up his 2 targets. He keeps them on the block. He gets rid of one of them. Oh my God, an HOH that worked. And then you have then we had the random Sam HOH. So it's like, it's not like level 6 has really been running things. They just have been able to capitalize. It's like Faute keeps fumbling the ball and level 6 just falls on it. Like, that's literally all they're doing.
That is
it's like, oh, I messed up the snap. Oh, it's on the ground. Okay.
Right. When they're just benefiting and then listening to Tyler.
Basically.
Like Tyler's like, oh, I want this person out. Oh, okay, yeah, Tyler, I want that person out too, even though it may not be the best move for my game, because you said so. I'm going to listen to you and get that person out. Like an idiot.
Yeah.
And and then JC, that's gonna be a good. If she goes that way, if the hacker doesn't mess everything up, JC would be like the least amount of blood that Hayleigh could get on her hands this week.
Yep. And I think that still gives us entertainment.
Yeah.
Because
JC's gonna flip out.
Oh, he
is. He's gonna flip out. He's gonna cry. He's gonna make up excuses for why he does whatever he does. And there's gonna be a lot of captions on the screen because when he starts rambling, they gotta put up exactly what he said on the screen every time. So it's gonna be funny and dramatic, and I am excited for it. Can't even lie.
Well, true enough. So this will be a fun week. I look forward to it. This is going to be a relatively short episode today. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, on the KWC blog on Twitter. You can follow Lethal Saint at Lethal Saint _. You can follow myself at Eagle Eye 1906. Make sure you go to the website, thekidswearcrowns.com. Check out all of our podcasts. We have Don't Call It a Podcast. We have the Committee Podcast, which LS is a part of. We have the We Bringing Love Back podcast, the Barbershop podcast. A lot going on over there. We want you to really go check out everything that we have, all that we do. And make sure that you join our fantasy football league. If you're into that, if you like fantasy football, we have a league formed. If you win, then you get free merch from thekidswearcrimes.com. Isn't that nice? Doesn't everybody like
Woo!
free?
We like
Um,
free. Love
so
free.
any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Um, Hopefully this week is better than the rest, and I just still can't wait for Rachel to come in WWE Angela in the finale because she deserves it.
Yeah, how did Angela give a nasty message to Rachel, who was her ride or die, but gave this nice, respectful uh goodbye message to Bayleigh?
Because Angela is a bitch, and that's
I
like clear.
I don't understand.
Oh, and apparently they've been like trashing Rachel's job
Yeah,
occupation, even though JC's literally a male dancer. And all Rachel does is do those showgirl things in Vegas,
and she
which
makes
I
decent money
think,
on it.
yeah, and I think male dancing is like worse because showgirls all they do is get in line and like look pretty, and JC's up there grinding in a little miniature thong, basically.
On
But
Minions.
JC's not getting flack for it. Okay, y'all are trash. All of y'all are trash for that. And I hope she slaps all of you that were trashing her job description.
You know
Hell
what?
yeah,
Rachel's not going to though, and it's not because
she
she's weak or
needs to.
anything, but she's not going to because I think as time goes on, as the rest of the thing kind of unfolds, she's just gonna be like, you know what, whatever. I don't like. She's not important to me, and I think the best thing for Rachel is that she was evicted pre-jury, even though I hate that for her because she seems like a really sweet person, but she was evicted pre-jury and she really loved the game. But at
Hope
the
she
same
comes
time,
back.
yeah, well, she ain't coming back into the game.
No, not into the game, but like next season or something.
I don't know. I
Like
don't
let her
know
come
if
back and try again.
I would love a second chance this type season, but we'll have to get into that another time because I can keep going on that. But yeah, I it would be nice to see a person who's a big fan like that come back, and she does have connections through like Jackie from season 17 and a couple other people, so it wouldn't surprise me if she was able to come back.
Me too. But I kind of hope so. I want to see a redemption, a Rachel redemption, because she ain't deserved to go out like
Yeah. Well, y'all, we appreciate you. Again, check us out, follow us on Twitter and everything of that nature, and we will see y'all next Thursday.
that. Woo!
Peace.
Peace.